They said the river carried away only what was meant to be forgotten. But on that cold dawn it carried something far more sacred. A young Apache woman named Nokomizer, paralyzed from the waist down after a devastating fall from her horse, was lowered toward the rushing water by the very people who had once loved her. Not out of cruelty, but out of fear. Fear that a woman who could no longer run, ride, or hunt would bring misfortune upon the tribe. And as the rope slipped from calloused hands and her body met the icy current, something inside her whispered, "So this is how my story ends." Before we continue this powerful story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to A Power of Kindness, where every story reminds us that kindness still matters. The river pulled her under with the hunger of a winter storm. Nokomis didn't fight it. She couldn't. Her legs were useless and her arms were nearly numb with cold. But just as the world blurred into sparkling shades of blue, a shadow sliced through the water above her. It was a cowboy, an outsider, someone her tribe had warned her people to stay far from. His name was Colton Hayes Yee, a quiet ranch hand who had been riding the outskirts of the valley. When he heard splashing, then a scream, then silence, he dove without hesitation. Strong arms wrapped around her. And for the first time since her accident, someone held her as though she wasn't broken but worth saving. Colton fought the current until they reached the shore. When Nokomis coughed river water and gasped for air, he wrapped his jacket around her shoulders. She couldn't stop shivering, but it wasn't the cold. It was the realization that someone who owed her nothing had risked everything. "You're safe," he told her gently. But safety was complicated. When her tribe discovered she'd survived and how they gathered around her with eyes full of shame. They expected anger from the cowboy. They expected fear from Nokomis. They expected the river to have erased the past. But what they received was something entirely different. Colton stood beside her not as a savior but as a witness to their humanity. He didn't accuse. He didn't condemn. He simply said, "Sometimes we're given a second chance to do right by the people we love." That was the twist no one saw coming. His kindness didn't protect Nokomis from her tribe, it softened them. Her grandmother stepped forward first, trembling, tears falling freely as she knelt beside Nokomis and pressed her forehead to hers. "We were wrong," she whispered. "The river was meant to wash away our fear, not our family." One by one, the tribe members reached out, hands once used to push her away, now extended to bring her home. Over the next seasons, Colton visited often, not because he felt obligated, but because Nokomis reminded him of everything he believed about resilience, about forgotten courage, about the surprising places kindness can take root. And the tribe, once distrustful, learned to welcome the cowboy, who had shown more heart in a single moment than many show in a lifetime. Nokomis healed not her legs but her spirit, and in time she became a storyteller, reminding her people and anyone willing to listen that mercy is stronger than fear, and that sometimes all it takes is one brave heart to change the tide. In the end, the river didn't claim her. Kindness did, and it lifted her higher than any horse ever could. Remember, every act of compassion, no matter how small, sends ripples farther than we ever imagine. Be the person who dives in, even when the world tells you to look away.